Chinese people's deep love towards the motherland can be seen from the steadfast gaze of the honor guards. When their patriotism erupts like a volcano, there will be no insurmountable hurdles or unachievable feats for them. The wheel of history never stops. Under the strong leadership of the Communist Party of China, the Chinese nation, with a firm grip on its own destiny, is marching forward staunchly and proudly.
From the monument of the people's heroes to the national flagpole, and from the great victory to the great rejuvenation, the Chinese nation has walked a long way of innumerable difficulties and hardships.
This is a road to national independence and people's liberation. It is also a road to national dignity, prosperity, and strength, and a road to Chinese modernization and a global community with a shared future.
The national anthem, March of the Volunteers, which was born during wartime, will soon be played. It was written in 1935, in the early years of the war against Japanese aggression.
Raise the national flag and sing the national anthem. Please be seated. I invite General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, President of the People's Republic of China, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Comrade Xi Jinping, to deliver an important speech. All my fellow Chinese across the nation, Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, and representatives of international organizations, distinguished guests, all officers and soldiers participating in the parade, comrades and friends. Today, we gather here to solemnly commemorate the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against the Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War. It is an occasion for us to remember history, honor fallen heroes, cherish
开
peace
创未来。
and create a better future.
我代表中共中
On
央、
behalf of the Central Committee of the
全国
Communist Party
人
of
大、
China, the National People's
国
Congress,
务院、
the State Council,
全国政协、
the National Committee of the Chinese People's
中央
Political
军委
Consultative Conference, and the Central Military Commission,
向全国
I would
参
like
加
to pay
过
high
抗日战
tribute
争的
to
老
our
战士、
veteran soldiers and
老
comrades,
同志、
patriots,
爱国人
and
士，
officers who fought in a
抗日
war
将
of
领
resistance against Japanese aggression,
向为中国人民抗日战争胜利
and to the Chinese nationals
做出
from home
重大
and
贡献
abroad
的
who made important
海内
contributions
外
to
中华
our
儿女
victory.
致以崇高敬意，向支
I
援
would also like to express
和帮助
my
过
sincere
中
thanks
国人民
to
抵抗侵略的外国政
foreign
府
governments
和国际
and
友人
friends that
表示
supported
衷
and
心
assisted
感
the
谢，
Chinese people in resisting aggression.
向参加今天大会的
I
各国
also
来
extend
宾
a warm welcome
表
to
示
our guests
热烈
from
欢
around
迎
the world who are with us today.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
中国人民抗日战争
the Chinese people's
是
war
艰
of
苦
resistance
卓绝
against
的
the Japanese aggression
伟大战
was
争
the great war fought with tenacity
在
and
中国
valor.
共产党倡导建立的
Under the banner of the
抗日民族统一
National
战线
United
旗帜
Front
下，
against Japanese aggression established
中国人民
at the
以
initiative
铮铮
of
铁
the
骨
Communist Party of
战
China,
强敌，
the Chinese people
以
stood
血肉
up
之
to
躯
fight the formidable
筑长城，
enemy within iron will
取得
and formed a
近
great
代以
war
来
with flesh and blood to
反
defend
抗
the
外敌
nation
入侵
and
的
ultimately achieved
第
the
一次
first complete
完全
victory
胜利。
in resisting foreign aggression in modern times.
中国人民抗日战争
The Chinese
是
people's
世
war
界
of resistance
反法
against
西
the
斯战
Japanese
争的
aggression was
重
an
要
important
组成
part
部
of the
分。
world anti-fascist war.
中国人民以巨大的
With
民
huge
族
national
牺牲，
sacrifice, the Chinese people
为拯救
made
人类文
major
明，
contributions
保
to
卫
saving
世界
human
和平
civilization and
做出
safeguarding
了
world
重大
peace.
贡献。历史警示我们，
History cautions us
人类命运休
that
戚与共。
humanity rises and falls together.
各个国家、各个民族只有
Only
平
when
等相
all
待、
countries and
和
nations
睦相处、
treat each other
守
as
望
equals,
相助，
coexist in
才
peace
能维
and
护
support each
共
other,
同安全，
can we uphold common
消灭
security,
战争根源，
eradicate the root cause of
不
war,
让历史悲
and
剧
prevent
重演。
the reoccurrence of historical tragedies.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
中华民族是不畏强暴
the，Chinese nation is the
自立
great
自
nation
强
that
的
is
伟大
never
民族。
intimidated by any bullies
当年
and always values
面对
independence
正
and
义与
forges
邪
ahead.
恶、光
In
明
the
与
past,
黑暗
when，faced with critical struggles
进
between
步与
good and
反动
evil,
的
light and
生死
darkness,
较量，
progress and reaction, the Chinese
中
people
国人民同仇
rallied
敌忾，
together to defy
奋起
the
反
enemy.
抗，为国家生存而战，
They fought for the
为
survival
民
of the
族复
country,
兴而战，
for the rejuvenation
为
of the
人
Chinese
类正
nation,
义而
and for
战。
justice of the whole humanity.
今天，人类又面
Today,
临和平还是战争，
humanity again has to choose
对话
between
还
peace
是对
and
抗，
war, dialogue
共
and
赢还是
confrontation,
零和的抉择。
win-win cooperation and zero-sum game.
中国人民坚定站在历史
The
正确
Chinese
一边，
people firmly stand
站
on
在
the right
人类
side
文
of
明
history
进步
and the
一边，
progress of human civilization.
坚持走和平发展道
We
路，
will remain committed to the path
与
of
各国
peaceful
人民
development
携手
and
构
join
建
hands with all
人类
peoples
命
around the
运共
world
同体。
in building a community with a shared future for humanity.
中国人民解放军
The Chinese People's
始
Liberation
终是
Army has been
党和人
and
民
will always be
完全可以
the
信赖
heroic
的
armed
英
forces that
雄
the
部队，
party and the people can fully trust
全军
and
将
rely
士
on.
要忠实履行神圣
All
职
service
责，
members should
加快
faithfully
建设
perform their
世界
sacred
一
duties,
流军队，
speed up the building of a
坚决维
world-class
护
military,
国家主权
and firmly
统
safeguard
一、
China's sovereignty,
领土完整，
unity, and territorial integrity.
为实现中华民族伟大
All
复兴
service members should
提
provide
供战略支
strategic
撑，
support for the great
为
rejuvenation of the
世界
Chinese
和平与
nation
发
and
展
make greater
做
contributions
出
to the
更大
peace
贡
and
献。
development of the world.
历史承载过去，
History
也
carries
启
the
迪未
legacy
来。
of the past and inspires the future.
新时代新征程，
On a new journey in a
全
new
国各族
era,
人民
the Chinese people
要在中国
of
共
all
产党
ethnic
坚
groups
强领导
should,
下，
under the strong leadership of the Communist Party of
坚
China,
持马克思列宁主
follow
义、
Marxism, Leninism,
毛泽东
Mao
思
Zedong
想、
thought,
邓小平理
Deng
论
Xiaoping theory,
三个代表重要思
the
想、
theory of three represents,
科学发展观
and the scientific outlook, and
全面
development,
贯彻新时代
and fully
中国
implement
特
the
色
thoughts on
社会主义
socialism
思
with
想，
Chinese characteristics for the new era.
坚定不移走中国特色
We
社
should
会主
stay
义道
firmly
路
on，the path of socialism with
传
Chinese
承和弘
characteristics
扬
and carry
伟
forward
大
the
抗
great
战精
spirit
神，
of the war of
脱
resistance.
力奋发，
We should press the
勇
head
毅
with
前行，
enterprise and resolve,
为
and
中国式
advance
现
in
代
unity
化
the cause of building
全面
China
推
into a
进
great
强
country
国建
on
设
all fronts
民
and
族
realizing great
复兴
national
伟业
rejuvenation
而
through
团
China's
结奋
modernization.
斗。中华民族伟大复兴势
The
不可
great
挡，
rejuvenation of the Chinese
人类
nation
和
is
平与发展的
irresistible.
崇高
The
事
noble
业
cause of peace
必
and
将胜利。
development of humanity will prevail. The military parade now begins. Markers in position.
The parade guards mark positions and boundaries at the parade ground. 60 soldiers will line up in front of the eastern and western ornament columns on the Tiananmen Square.
Marching with steadfast footsteps and imposing bearing, the ironclad troops showcase their unshakable faith, strong conviction, strict discipline, and firm commitment to their duties.
Standing firm on the ground of the motherland and bearing the hope of the Chinese nation, the heroic People's Liberation Army has forged ahead dauntlessly throughout wars, achieving great historic feats for the party and the people.
At this solemn moment today, the People's Armed Forces are ready for the inspection of General Secretary of the Communist Party of China's Central Committee, Chinese President, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Xi Jinping. They are also ready to be reviewed by the party and the people.
主席同志，
Comrade
受援
Chairman,
部队
the
列
troops
队
for
完毕，
review are fully
请
prepared.
您检
Please
阅
proceed with the
阅兵总
inspection.
指挥韩
Chief
胜
Commander
元
of the parade, Han Zhengxuan.
开始。是。
Let's begin.
Next, President Xi will pay an eye salute to the party national and military flags.
们辛苦了。
为人民服务。你的方针，
同志们好。
主席好。第四方针，敬礼。
同志们辛苦了。
为人民服务。
In a typical back and forth, President Xi says, "Salute to you, comrades," and the soldiers reply, "Hail to chairman." The president then says, "Comrades, thank you for your hard work." To which the soldiers reply, "We serve the
同志
people."
们辛苦了。 同志们好。
主席好。
同志们辛苦了。
As you could hear right there, the phrase "serve the people" was written into the party constitution at the 7th National Congress of the Communist Party of China in 1945. Serving the people wholeheartedly was established as the fundamental principle of the party and the People's Liberation Army.
海上战锤，敬礼。
同志们好。
主席好。
As President Xi's car rides past each segment of the troops, he greets the soldiers. The troops respond vociferously, paying respect and demonstrating their loyalty.
同志们辛苦了。
These phrases are used in inspections, parades, and other military gatherings.
The PLA views itself not only as the defender of national sovereignty, but as an integral part of society with a direct responsibility to safeguard people's well-being. In peacetime, the Chinese military participates in missions that serve the people's interests, such as disaster relief. And all this has earned them the title the most beloved people in China.
Now President Xi is heading back to the Tiananmen Wall Street. When President Xi's car rides past the troops, the soldiers shout, "Follow the party's command, fight to win, forge exemplary conduct. Justice will prevail, peace will prevail, the people will prevail."
Yeah.
Follow the party's command sets the military's political orientation. Fighting to win is the basic function of the military, and the fundamental objective is development. Forging exemplary conduct demonstrates the army's nature and principle.
Justice will prevail. Peace will prevail. The people will prevail. These three phrases were the closing lines in President Xi's speech 10 years ago, when the country marked the 70th anniversary of the victory of Chinese people's war of resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War. The foot formations are now adjusting their lines. Vehicles and armaments are lining up. They will soon march to the Tiananmen rostrum.
The People's Liberation Army is known as the PLA. In 1927, its frontrunners were founded by the Communist Party of China. It was originally called the Chinese Workers and Peasants Red Army. This year marks the 98th anniversary of the founding of the PLA.
During the 14-year-long War of Resistance, under the leadership of the Communist Party of China, the 8th Red Army and the new 4th Army, together with the Chinese people, defeated the Japanese forces and enveloped the invaders. They asserted their role in the battlefields and achieved victory in the war for national liberation.
Since the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949, the PLA has also undertaken the tasks of national defense and socialist construction, while transforming itself into a more revolutionary and modernized military.
Alongside the latest generation of conventional weapons, the parade will feature unmanned intelligence systems, underwater combat units, cyber and electronic forces, and hypersonic weapons, highlighting the PLA's growing capacity to harness emerging technologies, adapt to the evolving character of warfare, and prevail in future conflicts.
Just as China's weaponry has seen remarkable evolution over the years, the Chinese military has also continuously strengthened itself by reinforcing the primacy of political guidance and advancing comprehensive reforms.
China pursues a national defense policy that is defensive in nature. China will never seek hegemony, expansion, or spheres of influence.
Today, the PLA protects China and its people while making significant contributions to safeguarding world peace. It is the largest contributing country for peacekeepers among the permanent members of the UN Security Council.
China has formulated a three-step development strategy for modernizing national defense and the armed forces to achieve the centenary goals of strengthening the PLA by 2027, realize the modernization of national defense and the armed forces by 2035, and fully build the military into a world-class one by 2050.
Centenary objectives state that by 2027, China will accelerate the integrated development of mechanization, informationization, and intelligentization, accelerate the modernization of military theory, organizational forms, personnel, and weaponry, and prioritize quality and efficiency to enhance operational efficiency of military systems, and optimize the utilization of defense resources and promote the synchronized growth of defense and economic strengths. Warplanes that form the aerial echelons will take off from several airports, fly over the Tiananmen Square.
A total of 45 formations and echelons are involved in the Grand Parade. During the parade march past, airborne flag-guarding echelons, front formations, battle flag formations, armament columns, and aerial echelons will pass through or fly past Tiananmen Square in order. The parade is organized under a wartime command system and will involve thousands of troops, over 100 aircraft, and hundreds of ground armaments.
Commence the march past.
Flag guides the direction. Flag pulls strength. The march past begins with the airborne flag guard echelon.
Accompanied by the impassioned military music, the flag of the CPC, the national flag of the People's Republic of China, and the flag of the People's Liberation Army are fluttering high in the air. 26 helicopters form huge numerical shapes of 8 and 0. 3 helicopters were bearing the banners that read, "Justice will prevail, peace will prevail, the people will prevail." These messages are a great truth inspired by history, a solemn proclamation of the right course, and clarion call in an era of peace and development.
The Chinese nation always cherishes peace and takes side with historical correctness, fairness, and justice. The people's military will always be that iron great wall, defending national sovereignty, securing development interests, as well as the pillar of world peace.
total of 45 formations and echelons participate in the parade, and most of the weapons and equipment are shown to the public for the first time. It not only embodies the continuation of the heroic armed forces during the War of Resistance, but also demonstrates the new look of the people's military in the new era with enhanced political awareness and its new structure and force composition, new progress and modernization, and new achievements, enhancing combat readiness.
First to be inspected are 13 flag formations. After a comprehensive and deepened reform, the People's Military has formed a new system of services and arms. 4 service formations, 4 armed formations, and the formation of the Armed Police Force will be holding their respective flags to make a group debut during the parade. Holding high the party, national, and military flags. The formation of the Guard of Honor of the PLA is marching toward us. The People's Armed Forces, under the leadership of the CPC, are always the defenders of the country, socialism, and people's interests.
Is marching towards us as the earliest armed forces established and led by the party. The PLA army fought the enemies fearlessly and achieved immortal feats through countless battles. In the new era, the army is transforming itself fast to operate in multiple domains.
Now coming is the Navy formation. Breaking the waves and navigating to the deep blue, the PLA Navy has comprehensively strengthened its maritime deterrent and combat capabilities to safeguard peace and stability at the sea, moving fast to become a world-class naval force.
Formation. Building a strong Air Force has been the unremitting pursuit of the party and the people. Taking off in times of wars and sharpening its edge through battles, the PLA Air Force is making great strides towards integrating air and space capabilities and coordinating offensive and defensive operations.
Now under inspection is the Rocket Force Formation. As a core force of China's strategic deterrence, the PLA Rocket Force serves as the strategic support of China's status as a big power and an important cornerstone to safeguard national security. It strives to become a modern armed force with both nuclear and conventional capabilities and able to deter wars in all battle spaces.
Yeah!
Force formation is making their debut in the parade. As a new domain, new quality force, advocating peaceful utilization of space, PLA Aerospace Force safeguards the lasting peace and common security of space and offers strategic support for bringing a great power in aerospace.
Also making its debut is the Cyber Space Force formation. China advocates building a peaceful, secure, open, cooperative, and orderly cyberspace. Through building a cyber Great Wall, China decisively safeguards its network security and sovereignty in the digital battlefield.
Support Force formation is also making its debut at the Tiananmen Square. As a brand new strategic arm, the PLA Information Support Force is capable of capturing information heights, strives for innovation and development, and provides support to win informationized and intelligent wars in multiple domains.
Now receiving inspection is the Joint Logistics Support Force formation. Self-reliance during the War of Resistance all the way to becoming part of the synchronized operational systems and providing effective and precise assistance in the new era. The PLA Joint Logistics Support System has made new strides.
Is the Armed Police Force formation. From metropolises to remote coastal areas, the People's Armed Police Force, either performing regular duties, handling emergencies, or engaging in rescue operations, is dedicated to safeguarding national security and social stability and ensuring people's well-being. Distinguished by its versatility and effectiveness in maintaining stability, the Armed Police Force is always a loyal guard of the party and the people.
Next comes the Reserve Force formation. New types of reserve forces have been fully integrated into the leadership and command systems of the military. They're ever prepared to fight and carry out the missions of the people's military in coordination with the active duty forces in the new era.
Are the foundation of victory. Now marching forward is the militia formation. The militia women are from the major wartime counter-Japanese base areas across China. During the War of Resistance, Chinese people, regardless of their gender or ages, acted as one in safeguarding their homes. The red genes have passed on from one generation to another. In the new era, the militia forces provide backup services during peaceful time.
China has been contributing to maintaining world peace. The peacekeeping force formation is marching towards us. China is the largest troop-contributing country for peacekeeping among the permanent members of the UN Security Council. Having participated in UN peacekeeping operations for 35 years, the Chinese peacekeeping forces have confronted daunting challenges and fulfilled their missions. The forces have guarded world peace without hesitating to sacrifice their lives, demonstrated through their action how China assumes its responsibility as a major power, making great contributions to building a community with a shared future for humanity.
With majestic bearing, the 7 combat groups of the armament formations led by the Banner Formation are ready to be reviewed. Once utilizing inferior weapons during the War of Resistance, the PLA has accelerated to develop new weapons, including massively deployed killer heavyweight weapons, thus being better equipped to deter enemies and win the war.
The Banner Formation showcases 80 honorary banners of the hero unit troops, bearing glory from the past. The banners symbolize heroism and victory and will always propel the People's Army to forge ahead.
4 formations of the Land Combat Group are ready to be reviewed. Marching towards us is the Ground Assault Formation, grouped in an arrow-shaped array. The Type 99B tank features strong striking abilities, powered with information. The Type 100 tank and Type 100 fighting vehicle are highly intelligent and capable of coordinated combat. The new generation armored units of the PLA Army's ground assault forces demonstrate the strong ability of capturing strongholds with mobility and piercing fortification.
Next is the Amphibious Assault Vehicle Formation, made up of amphibious wheeled armored assault vehicles, infantry fighting vehicles, and self-propelled howitzers. Capable of storming the shoreline for assault with strong mobility and flexibility, they are key armaments for the Marine Corps to take the lead in landing operations and make key area seizure.
Marching towards us is the imposing airborne assault formation. Diverse airborne armaments of the formation are able to make long-distance air drop and provide heavy equipped maneuvering support. sharp weapons from the Army to rapid response and deep stealth.
Marching forward is the formation of long-range artillery for subjugation and precision strike. The two types of 191 box-shaped rocket artilleries are capable of making strike and providing support, expanding the Army's capability in terrestrial battle.
Next to be reviewed are three formations of the Maritime Combat Group. First comes the carrier-based air defense weapon formation. Being reviewed are four types of armaments that compose a three-dimensional system for air defense covering all ranges. The carrier-based laser weapons are strongly capable of precision destruction and consistent strike, defining the new landscape of maritime attack and defense.
The anti-ship missile formation consists of NG-15 missile, NG-19, NG-17, and NG-20 hypersonic missiles. Missiles can be deployed on multiple platforms, such as carrier-based aircraft, surface vessels, and submarines, featuring long-range strike, fast speed, and strong destruction. They're sharp weapons for striking enemies on the sea.
Parade is the underwater weapon formation. Light and heavy torpedoes, as well as torpedoes propelled by rockets, are able to strike vessels and strike undersea targets. The new special purpose naval mines can autonomously identify and attack targets. They are key forces for guarding strongholds and making waves in naval warfare.
Formations of the air defense and anti-missile operations group will be expected. Here comes the early warning detection formation. The four types of weapons that are being inspected are all new generations of domestically made, highly mobile radar. In good coordination, they can detect stealth aircraft and ballistic missiles far and near. They provide early warning for the country's airspace and aerial security.
Anti-aircraft combat formation. It's a heroic unit which has accomplished glorious wartime feats. 6 types of ground-to-air missiles, including NG-20, NG-19, and NG-29, are now being made public at Tiananmen. They can carry out multi-range and multi-layered anti-ballistic defense, capable of fighting against all range threats from the air.
the anti-drones formation set to defend the low-altitude domain. It includes anti-drones missile and artillery systems, high-energy laser weapons, and high-power microwave weapons. The trio work together to disable and destroy enemy drones.
Is the Information Warfare Group, which consists of 3 formations. Driving towards us is the Cyberspace Combat Formation. The 4 types of equipment being inspected can command and control, detect and sense, and carry out cyber and electronic countermeasures in an integrated way. It is a new force that consolidates cyber defense and empowers joint force operations.
Here comes the electronic countermeasure formation. 5 types of their key equipment are displayed. They can detect and monitor all frequencies and subdue the enemy forces precisely. They are capable of aerial and space countermeasures and disconnecting the enemy networks. They are a crucial force in securing victory on joint multi-domain battlefields.
Support formation. It is made up of vehicles capable of cloud computing, digital intelligence, forming air-ground networks, integrating information on the battlefield. They can quickly establish new types of internet communication systems to support joint operations.
Next to be inspected is the unmanned combat group, consisting of 3 formations. First, we have the unmanned land combat formation. These unmanned vehicles can carry out various tasks such as reconnaissance, assaults, mine and bomb defusing and removal, and SWAT assistance. They can be operated remotely and are able to move independently, work flexibly in groups, and make intelligent maneuvers. With that, the Army can make coordinated operations between manned and unmanned forces.
Now approaching is the Unmanned Maritime Combat Formation. Being reviewed now are new types of unmanned underwater vehicles and unmanned surface vehicles, as well as underwater mine deployment systems, which are capable of hit deployment and blockade, independent target identification, and group-based attacks. They are extraordinary weaponry to win maritime combat.
Passing by next is the unmanned aerial combat formation. The new models of weaponry include reconnaissance and strike drones, unmanned wing planes, unmanned air domination planes, and unmanned aircraft carrier-borne helicopters. Covering a wide range of space, they can attack in a way that is difficult to be detected and can automatically coordinate with one another, creating a new model of future-oriented aerial combat scenario.
Two formations of the Logistics and Equipment Support Group are to be revealed. The Logistics Support Formation consists of ambulances, field hospital installations, fuel transport and refueling depots, field hot meal providing system. They have greatly enhanced modern logistics support for the troops.
Among the equipment support formation are light repair vehicles, wheeled emergency rescue and repair vehicles, disassemble and assemble repair vehicles, and electromechanical maintenance vehicles. It's like an armored hospital for weapons and equipment.
Next to be inspected is the Strategic Strike Group, consisting of 4 formations. First, we have the Cruise Missile Formation, with naval, air, and rocket forces being organized into a joint group. Changjian 20A, UG-18C, Changjian 1000 missiles can implement long-range precision strikes, creating multi-domain deterrence.
Speed is key to victory. Now we have the hypersonic missile formation. The new types of missiles, UG-21, Dongfeng 17, and Dongfeng 2016, can fly at an extremely high speed, excel at breaking through blockage, and hit targets with high precision. They're vital to victory during all-weather combat.
Coming up next for inspection is the first nuclear missiles formation. The heavyweight weapons in the group include Jinglei-1 air-based long-range missile, Julang-3 submarine-based intercontinental missile, Dongfeng 61 land-based intercontinental missile, and the new land-based intercontinental missile of Dongfeng 31. It's the first time the China showcases its nuclear warhead land, sea, and air together. They are mighty strategic deterrents to safeguard national sovereignty and dignity.
Now coming to us is the second nuclear missiles formation. The Dongfeng 5C liquid intercontinental strategic nuclear missile can strike any target around the world with its extensive shooting range. It is capable of providing defense and deterrence at any minute. With these strategic heavyweight weapons in hand, China has forged a shield of peace to its safety. The People's Military are loyally fulfilling their duties to safeguard the nation and its people, as well as world peace. Air echelons will soon arrive for inspection. The aircraft featuring early warning and reconnaissance, long-range strike, aerospace control operations, strategic delivery, and logistic support will show the PLA's increasing air combat capabilities. First to fly past is the echelon of early warning and command aircraft. The echelon of Kongjin 500A early warning planes and J-16 fighters, the echelon of Kongjin 600 early warning planes, and J-15T shipboard fighters pass through in turn for inspection. Development and deployment of the latest domestically made early warning aircraft has markedly improved the PLA's capabilities in command and control, early warning and detection, and coordinated strike.
Now approaching is the echelon of special purpose aircraft. Under the escort of J-16 fighters, Y-9 anti-submarine patrol aircraft, electronic reconnaissance aircraft, and radar jamming aircraft are the 3B formations. The deployment of the various types of special purpose aircraft has significantly increased the PLA's abilities in maritime and air reconnaissance, patrol and surveillance, and electromagnetic neutralization.
Closely following is the echelon of transport aircraft. Y-20A transport planes and Y-20B transport planes make up two V formations that are flying in a combat mode. New type multifunctional transport aircraft equipped with new domestically made engines feature long flight range, high loading capacity, and high speed. With the capacity of long-distance strategic delivery, they have carried out multiple major missions at home and abroad.
Flying over is the echelon of bombers composed of 3 V formations that consist of H-6N strategic bombers, H-6K bombers, and H-6J bombers. As a major force in long-range strike, the aircraft are capable of long-distance range, patrol in a large area, and attacks outside its defense zone.
Flying over Tiananmen Square is the echelon of 3 Yu-20A airborne refueling tankers, which are ready to refuel H-6N bombers, J-16 fighters, J-20 fighters. The deployment of domestically made refueling tankers has enabled China's fighter planes to operate long-distance flights. composed of two League nations, a J-15DH, J-15DT, J-35, J-15T carrier-based aircraft. From siege on takeoff to catapult takeoff, from a single type to multiple models, China's carrier-based aircraft has undergone a leapfrog development.
Last flight has his echelon of troop aircraft. J-10 aerobatics planes stage an aerial display of 14 colored smoke trails, symbolizing the 14 years of war of resistance against Japanese aggression and the bright prospects for 1.4 billion Chinese people striving for national rejuvenation.
All markers fall out. Release the peace staffs.
Uphold justice, safeguard peace. This land and people will forever remember the fallen heroes. Spirits are immortal.
The commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against the Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War has now concluded.
मेरे पास है नया विम डिश वॉश लिक्विड। इसके सिरके और लीमू का ताकतवर फॉर्मूला निकाले चिकनाई और बदबू चुटकियों में। नया विम डिश वॉश लिक्विड।
गिरो उठो ट्राई फिर से गिरो उठो ट्राई। गिरो उठो ट्राई फिर से गिरो उठो ट्राई।
धोए
इन गहरे सख्त दागों के लिए है नया सर्फ एक्सेल डीप एक्शन टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ। ये इन जिद्दी गहरे दागों को भी कपड़े की अंदरूनी लेयर से पूरी तरह खींच निकाले। तो दागों से क्या डरना, सर्फ एक्सेल है ना।
बेटा बचाओ।